A very good morning. This is the Breakfast News where you get a complete roundup of the biggest news stories from India and around the globe. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor and here are the top stories this morning. Fourth week of ongoing parliament session begins from today. Government works for the passage of key legislations. Congress, TDP, YSR Congress and CPIM move notices for no confidence motion against the centre in Lok Sabha. Social Justice Minister Thawarchand Gehlot writes to the Law Ministry, favours Centre filing a review plea against the Supreme Court's verdict on SC/ST Act. BJP ally Lok Janshakti Party filed a review petition in the Apex Court on Monday. Days after opposition dinner meet hosted by the Congress, NCP chief Sharad Pawar to host non-BJP leaders for dinner at his residence, Mamata Banerjee to attend. In a coordinated response, over 20 countries expel more than 100 Russian diplomats, largest collective expulsion of Russian officials over poisoning of its former spy in the UK. And Anish Bhanwala secures India its third individual gold at the Junior World Cup shooting tournament in Australia. Finishes top in the men's 25 metres rapid-fire pistol. It is the fourth week of the ongoing budget session of Parliament, and last 3 weeks saw multiple disruptions over various issues in both houses. So far, in the legislative business in both houses, the Lok Sabha cleared the payment of gratuity amendment bill, specific relief amendment bill and the finance bill. The Rajya Sabha cleared the payment of gratuity bill without discussion. Several state issues, including that of Andhra Pradesh special category status and Kaveri dispute, have held up proceedings. Protests over the PNB fraud have also been a daily sight. The government has repeatedly said that it was ready for discussion on all issues, including that of the no-confidence motions. The opposition has been demanding the Prime Minister's response in Parliament over the PNB fraud. Meanwhile, 4 parties have moved no-confidence motion notices against the centre in the Lok Sabha. The latest is the CPIM that submitted the notice on Monday. Leader of the CPIM in Lok Sabha, P. Karunakaran, submitted the notice to the Lok Sabha Secretariat and urged Speaker Sumitra Mahajan to include the no-confidence motion in the revised list of business for today. On Friday, Congress's Mallikarjun Kharge gave a notice of no-confidence motion against the government in the Lok Sabha. And both parties from Andhra Pradesh also moved the no-confidence motions against the government over their demand for special status to Andhra Pradesh. The TDP and YSR Congress have been giving the notice every day, but there has been no discussion on the motion due to disruptions. And the YSR Congress has said that all its 9 MPs will resign on the issue of a special status to Andhra Pradesh. The decision was taken at a meeting chaired by party president YS Jagan Mohan Reddy in Guntur district yesterday. The YSR Congress said that its MPs will resign immediately after Parliament was adjourned sine die without conceding the party's demand. The opposition party also appealed to Telugu Desam MPs to resign over the matter. Jagan Mohan Reddy, whose party has 9 MPs, had announced last month that his party MPs will quit at the end of the budget session on 6th of April if the special category status was not granted. Meanwhile, Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu will hold an all-party meeting in the State Assembly today over the issue of special category status for the state. The call for the all-party meeting comes hours after the YSR Congress announced that all of its MPs would resign their seats in the Lok Sabha at the end of the ongoing budget session of Parliament. The TDP had pulled out of the Union Cabinet and later from the ruling NDA coalition over the issue of special status for Andhra Pradesh. Let's get to some other news. The Lok Jan Shakti Party has filed a review petition in the Supreme Court against its order on the SC and ST Prevention of Atrocities Act. The LJP also wrote to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, urging the government to file a review petition against the court's order. The party said that the Supreme Court order has made the act toothless. LJP leader Chirag Paswan said that the party is receiving memorandums from scheduled castes and scheduled tribes against the court's order. Meanwhile, Social Justice Minister Thawar Chand Gehlot has written to Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad favouring the centre filing a review plea against the verdict, saying that there were concerns that the order will make the law ineffective and also adversely impact the dispensation of justice to Dalits and tribals. BJP's Dalit MP Udit Raj has said that the order can harm the party politically if it is not reviewed. The court, in its order, remember, had expressed concern over the misuse of the act and had said that the government servants should not be arrested without the prior sanction, and private citizens too could be arrested only after an inquiry.
जिस तरीके से SC/ST एक्ट में माननीय उच्च न्यायालय द्वारा जो दिशा निर्देश आए हैं और उसके बाद जिस तरीके से उसमें बदलाव हुए हैं, कहीं ना कहीं वो इस एक्ट को बहुत ज़्यादा कमज़ोर करता है, दंतहीन करता है, टूथलेस बनाता है इस एक्ट को। और इसको लेकर ना सिर्फ पार्टी के नेताओं में बल्कि पार्टी के तमाम कार्यकर्ताओं में और जितने भी पार्टी का कैडर है जो इस वर्ग विशेष से आता हो या नहीं भी आता हो, तमाम उन लोगों में इस बात को लेकर चिंताएं थी और आक्रोश भी था।
And on to the other biggest developing news story. In an attempt to stitch an alliance for the 2019 Lok Sabha polls, NCP chief Sharad Pawar has invited opposition parties for dinner at his residence today. Pawar's dinner comes days after Sonia Gandhi hosted opposition leaders for dinner. Trinamool Party President Mamata Banerjee, who had sent a representative to attend the dinner hosted by Sonia Gandhi, will be present at this meeting today. At the dinner hosted by Sonia Gandhi, leaders of SP, BSP, JMM, DMK, RLD, CPI, among others were present. And earlier this week, Sharad Pawar had said that his party would form an alliance with like-minded parties in the next Lok Sabha as well as the Maharashtra Assembly elections.
दिल्ली तो हिंदुस्तान में ही है, तो कभी-कभी पार्लियामेंट जब चलता है, हमारा परंपरा होता है, हमारे एमपी लोगों का साथ मीट करते हैं। बहुत सारे जान पहचान पॉलिटिकल लीडर भी दिल्ली में रहते हैं, तो उसका साथ में भी मुलाकात होता है इसी के लिए।
On to some other news now. The war of words between the Congress and the BJP on data sharing escalated on Monday, with the BJP levelling allegations against the Congress of data theft. Congress has, however, refuted all the claims. Here is a report.
War of words between the BJP and the Congress over the Namo app. Information and Broadcasting Minister Smriti Irani on Monday accused the Congress of data theft, saying it took down its app after allegations came out in the open. She also claimed that data being sent through the official app of the Congress is being shared with Singapore servers.
जब भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने सच्चाई कांग्रेस पार्टी का ट्विटर के माध्यम से रखा कि उनका जो ऐप था, उस ऐप के माध्यम से किस प्रकार कांग्रेस पार्टी डाटा चोरी कर रही थी, तो तुरंत ही प्ले स्टोर से कांग्रेस पार्टी ने उस ऐप को डिलीट कर दिया। कि सिद्धरामैया जी का निजी ऐप अभी भी आप अगर कर्नाटक सरकार के वेबसाइट पे जाएंगे तो आप पाएंगे कि उनका ऐप उस वेबसाइट पे मौजूद है और निजी खर्चे पे नहीं, सरकारी खर्चे पे सिद्धरामैया जी अपने ऐप पे अपनी पार्टी का गुणगान कर रहे हैं, एडवर्टाइजमेंट दे रहे हैं।
The Congress refuted the claim. In a series of tweets, Congress President Rahul Gandhi alleged that the Namo app was sharing data without consent from the users.
आईटी का मतलब इस सरकार के लिए इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं रहा। आईटी हो गया है आइडेंटिटी थेफ्ट इस सरकार के लिए। उधर आईटी मंत्री प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करते हैं और इधर 50 लाख भारतीयों का, भारतीय नागरिकों का, भारतीयों का, भारत में रहने वाले वासियों का डेटा एक नमो पर्सनल ऐप के नाम पे कलेक्ट किया गया है।
Both parties are engaged in a war of words over data theft and use of services of Cambridge Analytica, the firm that stands accused of harvesting data from Facebook for election purposes. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And days after the Union Cabinet gave approval to Ayushman Bharat, the Union Minister for Health and Family Welfare, JP Nadda, told Rajya Sabha television in an exclusive interview that the government was ready for the rollout of the healthcare program by July this year. He said that Prime Minister Modi will announce the launch soon thereafter. He also said that by the end of July, all the applications related to Ayushman Bharat will be ready.
By July, we'll be ready for testings, and it will take some time for testing so that we stabilize the program.
And after that is the formal launch.
Yes.
And well, you can watch the entire interview on a Wednesday at 10 p.m. on Rajya Sabha Television's program To The Point. And with this, we'll take a very short break. We'll be back with more news on the other side, so stay tuned. Welcome back after the break. The government has begun the process of selling over 9,400 enemy properties, something that is expected to fetch it a whopping 1 lakh crore rupees. The government has issued guidelines and directed the Office of the Custodian of Enemy Property for India to submit a list of such properties within 3 months. The Ministry of Home Affairs has also constituted a valuation committee at the district level on the issue, and an inter-ministerial disposal committee was formed to complete the process early. Enemy properties are basically properties owned by individuals who migrated to Pakistan and China and took their citizenship. A total of the total properties, about 9,280 belong to Pakistani nationals and 126 belong to the Chinese. Now, the move comes after the amendment to the Enemy Property Act in 2017 and 2018, which ensured that the heirs of those who migrated to Pakistan and China during partition and will later have no claim over the properties left behind in India. News from the south of the country. On a 2-day visit to poll-bound Karnataka, BJP President Amit Shah will visit the Madara Chennaiya Mutt today, which has been traditionally associated with the Dalits. He will also address the meetings with the farmers and traders and hold a roadshow in Mysuru. Earlier on Monday, Shah said that the Siddaramaiah government's move to accord a separate religious minority status to Lingayats and Veerashaiva Lingayats was aimed at preventing B.S. Yediyurappa from becoming the chief minister. Addressing a coconut growers convention, Amit Shah said that if BJP wins a majority, it will make Yediyurappa a Lingayat the new chief minister. The state cabinet had recently decided to recommend to the centre to accord religious minority status to Lingayats and Veerashaiva Lingayats. The move is seen as an attempt to chip away the BJP's strong Lingayat vote base. Amit Shah also attacked the Siddaramaiah government for failing to prevent farmer suicide in the state.
हम चाहते हैं कि सुपारी के उत्पादकों को, किसानों को इसमें से बाहर निकालना चाहिए। मैं आपको विश्वास दिलाता हूं, आप एक बार कर्नाटक के अंदर श्री येदियुरप्पा की सरकार बना दीजिए, भाजपा सरकार बना दीजिए। भाजपा सरकार सुपारी के औषधीय गुणों के रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट के लिए 500 करोड़ की लागत से एक रिसर्च सेंटर शिमोगा के क्षेत्र के अंदर बनाएगी, जिससे जो लांछन लगा है उसको हमेशा के लिए निरस्त कर दिया जाएगा.
And the Supreme Court on Monday issued notices to the Centre and the Law Commission on petitions challenging the practice of polygamy and nikah halala among Muslims. The top court also agreed to examine the constitutional validity of these practices. Here is a report.
7 months after it declared instant triple talaq unconstitutional, the Supreme Court will be examining the legal validity of polygamy and nikah halala among Muslims. A constitution bench of 5 senior-most judges will hear the petitions on the issue. The court issued notices to the Centre and Law Commission on the matter.
मेरी शादी के बारे में उसने पहली वाइफ को नहीं बताया। 9 महीने के बाद जब मेरे बेटा हुआ उनसे, तब वो चीज़ खुल के आई कि इसकी तो पहली वाइफ है, ये मुझे दिल्ली में छुपा के रखता है, और मुझसे पहली वाइफ के बारे में छुपाया। तब मुझे बहुत परेशानी हुई, दुख हुआ कि ये एकदम अचानक लापता हो गया। जब ये चीज़ें सामने आई, जब लापता हुआ तो उस पर मैंने आवाज़ उठाई।
The court is hearing a clutch of petitions challenging the practices on the grounds of violating right to equality, bias against women and gender justice. 4 PILs have been filed in the apex court against the practice. 4 petitioners in the case include BJP leader Ashwini Upadhyay. While polygamy is the practice of having more than one wife or husband at the same time, under nikah halala, a man cannot remarry his divorced wife unless she marries another man, consummates the marriage, gets a divorce and observes a period of separation called iddat.
माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने चारों पिटीशंस पे नोटिस इशू किया है और इस मामले को 5 जजेस बेंच को रेफर कर दिया है। 5 जजेस बेंच अब सुनवाई करेगी इन 4 विषयों पे, बहुविवाह, निकाह मिस्यार, निकाह मुता और निकाह हलाला। हमने यही कहा है कि ये चारों विषय पहले डिसाइड होने थे। जो पहला मैटर था शायरा बानो वाला मैटर, उसमें थे और ये डिसाइड नहीं किए गए, इसलिए इसको सुनना बहुत ज़रूरी है।
निकाह हलाला और पॉलीगेमी हमारा जो संविधान है उस संविधान के फंडामेंटल राइट्स के विपरीत है और पर्सनल लॉ संविधान को सुपरसीड नहीं कर सकता है, इसलिए इसको हमने अल्ट्रा वायलेंस डिक्लेयर करने के लिए पिटीशन लगाई।
According to the petitioners, triple talaq, polygamy and nikah halala violate Articles 14, 15 and 21 of the Constitution. Triple talaq was declared unconstitutional in 2017 by the same bench after a prolonged debate. Vipin Chauhan's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And here are some more news related to the nation in Nationwide. Taking a serious note of the death of 184 lions in the Gir sanctuary in the last 2 years, the Gujarat High Court sought the explanations of the centre and the state government over the disturbing trend. The court asked the reasons behind the high number of deaths and the steps being taken by the authorities concerned to prevent it. Uttar Pradesh government will reintroduce the UP Control of Organised Crime Bill 2017 in the State Assembly today. The bill could not be cleared by the Legislative Council. The bill seeks to act sternly against those using explosives or firearms or any other violent means or damaging life and property or involved in any anti-national or destructive act. Odisha Assembly on Monday passed the Odisha Municipal Laws Amendment Bill 2018, which will have a provision to disqualify the membership of a corporator or a councillor if he does not buy the party whips during a no-confidence vote. The bill was passed in the Assembly when the opposition Congress and BJP members were not present in the House. The Nagaland Assembly on Monday passed the state's 18 crore rupees budget for fiscal 2018-19. The Nagaland Appropriation Bill number 2 2018 budget was passed by a voice vote following discussions on cut motions raised by the opposition. Earlier, the budget was presented by Nagaland Chief Minister Nefurio on 23rd of March last with a fiscal deficit of close to 1600 crore rupees. Our top international focus, Russia has vowed to respond with the principle of reciprocity to some nations' decision to expel Russian diplomats. The US and its European allies are expelling dozens of Russian diplomats in a coordinated response to the poisoning of a former Russian spy in the UK. It is said to be the largest collective expulsion of Russian diplomats in history. More than 20 countries have aligned with the UK, expelling more than 100 diplomats. And earlier this month, the UK announced that it was expelling 23 Russian diplomats. The Russian Foreign Ministry said that the move demonstrates a continuation of a confrontational path and that the ministry would submit proposed retaliatory measures to Vladimir Putin for consideration. Now, Russia claims that it had no role in the attack on Sergei Skripal and his daughter Yulia in Salisbury in southern England. The pair remain in a critical but stable condition in hospital.
But what we're saying today, what the world is saying today, is that this pattern of behaviour has become unacceptable. It manifests itself across the globe, from Syria to Salisbury, and people have had enough of it. And that's why I think you've had this very, very powerful global statement today.
Seeing an increasingly move of bad judgment by Russia. And when we see these espionage tactics that are taking place right here at the heart of the UN, we can't have that. And this is really not just us but multiple countries saying all of these actions have to stop.
Let's get you some more international news. Here is the World Wrap. The first day of voting in Egypt's presidential election came to an end on Monday, with President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi widely expected to win. Polls closed at 9 p.m. local time, but there are 2 more days for Egyptians to cast their votes. Sisi has urged the Egyptians to vote, while the opposition figures have called for a boycott. The president's sole challenger is Musa Mustafa Mousa, a Sisi supporter widely seen as a dummy candidate. China on Monday lashed out at what it called was U.S. economic intimidation following President Donald Trump's announcement of new import tariffs, but said that it was open to negotiations to resolve the trade frictions. The 2 countries have traded threats in recent days, ratcheting up fears that the world's 2 biggest economies are heading towards a damaging trade war. Donald Trump said last Thursday that the U.S. would impose new tariffs on some $60 billion of Chinese imports over the theft of intellectual property. The Beijing also vowed retaliatory action. The leading U.S. consumer protection regulator and attorneys representing 37 states stepped up pressure on Facebook Inc. on Monday. They wrote to Facebook to explain how the social network allowed data of 50 million users get into the hands of political consultancy Cambridge Analytica. The U.S. Federal Trade Commission also announced that it had opened an investigation into the company, which it generally only does in cases of great public interest. Following the move, Facebook shares briefly dipped below $150 on Monday for the first time since July 2017. And Russian investigators say that there was no alarm and exits were blocked when a fire engulfed a shopping and entertainment mall in Siberia, killing at least 64 people. Russia's investigative committee spoke of blocked exits and serious violations at the Winter Cherry Mall. Sunday's blaze started on an upper floor, and many of the victims in the city of Kemerovo were children. Video on social media showed people jumping from windows to escape. 10 people are still listed as missing. Let's get you all the sporting action now. Ace Indian shooter Anish Banwala scored India a 3rd individual gold medal at the ISSF Junior World Cup in Sydney on Monday. Banwala finished atop the podium in the men's 25 meters rapid-fire pistol. Having qualified for the final with the highest score, Banwala prevailed over 2 of his Indian teammates and also over 3 Chinese participants in the medal round. India are now placed 2nd in the overall standings with 15 medals, comprising 6 gold, 3 silver and 6 bronze medals. The bronze medal was awarded to another Indian team comprising Sandhu, Jatprash Singh, Jaspal and Mandeep Singh. And countries across the globe mark the World Theatre Day today. It was initiated in 1961 by the International Theatre Institute, a UNESCO-affiliated organization. This day celebrates the importance of theatre arts as it continues to move, entertain, teach and change us. So we leave you with some memorable acts. Thanks for watching and have a great day ahead.